Imagine this. You wake up. You're accused of something. But nobody tells you what the charge is, or even who accused you.
Right. Your world just gets completely swallowed by this invisible legal machine.
Exactly. And that's pretty much the heart of our deep dive today. We're plunging into well, the truly bewildering world of a man known only as K in Franz Kafka's The Trial.
And it hits you right from the start, doesn't it? It's not just like a legal problem for Kay. It's deeper, an existential thing. Kafka throws us into this maze, this system that just makes no logical sense.
Yet it demands total surrender. It's
Yeah.
really chilling when you think about it, power, bureaucracy, and what even is innocence in a system like this.
That's the question.
So what we want to do today is unpack how this justice system actually works. Through Kay's eyes. We'll look at his lawyer, this guy, Dr. Holt, who, well, we'll get into him.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's this weird tip from a factory owner, and finally a painter, Tittarelli, who claims he has the key to Kay's, quote, freedom.
Whatever that means in this context.
Yeah. Right. So our mission is to really pull out the core insights here. How does this bizarre system operate? What does it mean for Kay? And maybe, what does it subtly suggest about systems in our own world?
In Kay's state, right when we meet him, it's palpable. He's in his office, the book says, extremely tired, just spinning in his chair, can't focus on his bank work at all.
Yeah, his mind is just consumed by this trial, this shadow. It's not just being tired, is it? It's the sheer psychological weight of it all.
Absolutely. The unknown accusation, it's paralyzing him.
And it's affecting everything. He's so fed up with his lawyer, we'll get to that he's actually thinking, maybe I should just write my own defense.
Which tells you everything about his desperation, right? And his trust in the process. Gone.
Completely gone. His work suffers. His whole life is basically on pause because of this invisible thing hanging over him. Okay, so let's talk about that first point of contact. The lawyer, Dr. Holte's experience here, it just immediately pulls the rug out from under any normal idea of legal help.
Totally. I mean, what kind of lawyer hardly questions his client? Holt mostly talks about himself, gives these vague pep talks.
Empty exhortations, Kafka calls them. And Kay's thinking, I'm not paying for this. He feels like he can just ask the questions himself.
He probably could. But Holt, despite being so useless personally, actually reveals something huge about the court. The fundamental unfairness.
Yeah, what does he say?
He tells Kay straight up, the proceedings are not public. And the absolute kicker, the indictment, the actual charge, not available to the accused and his defense.
Wow. Just let that sink in. You're accused. Your life is chaos.
Yeah.
But you literally don't know what you're supposed to be defending yourself against.
It's impossible. How do you fight a ghost?
You can't. And Kafka, he uses the physical setting too, doesn't he? To show how degraded this whole system is. Holt admits lawyers aren't even really allowed, just tolerated, unregistered, basically.
Yeah, they're shoved into these awful little offices. Kay describes this narrow, low room, tiny skylight, way up high, can't see anything, and get this, a hole in the floor.
A hole in the floor. Seriously.
Yeah, where someone's foot could slip through, apparently hanging into the client waiting area downstairs. It's just squalid.
That imagery, the low ceiling, the hole, it's not subtle, is it? It's saying the system itself is broken, decaying. It's not a place where justice happens.
Exactly. It's symbolism, pure and simple. The physical decay mirrors the moral decay, the cramped space, the blocked view, the literal pitfall. It all screams contempt. Contempt for the lawyers, for the process, for the people caught in it. It's designed to make you feel small, lost.
Trapped.
Definitely trapped.
And Holt's actual strategy, if you can call it that, is even more nuts. He admits formal documents like legal submissions, they were not read at all.
Or they just get lost, mislaid, or maybe glanced at barely. Useless.
So what does matter then, according to Holt?
It's all about personal contacts. That's the most important thing. Who you know within the court's bureaucracy.
Right. He even boasts that these low-level officials come running to him for advice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to deal with people, apparently.
Which is just incredibly cynical, isn't it? It's not about justice. It's about knowing how to work the Birkin system. It's about connections, favors. Maybe those officials aren't even seeking advice. Maybe they're using hold to climb the ladder themselves.
Yeah, Kay starts suspecting something like that too, doesn't he? He gets really distrustful.
Deeply distrustful. He concludes his defense is not in good hands. He worries Hold's talk about contacts isn't actually about helping him.
But maybe about helping these officials. Possibly even making Kay's situation worse.
Exactly. Is it just Kay being paranoid? Maybe. But given everything Holt has said, it feels pretty plausible. Kafka's showing us a system where the very people meant to help you might be part of the trap.
Or at least using your case for their own ends.
Right. Kay's just a pawn, realizing the game is rigged, and his own lawyer might not even be on his side. Not really.
So Kay's basically hit his limit with Dr. Holt. He's exhausted. This whole thing is bleeding into his bank job, undermining him with his deputy manager.
Yeah, the pressure is immense.
And he feels this desperate need to just take control. He starts seeing the trial almost like a business deal, you know? Forget guilt or innocence, just focus on his own advantage.
A very pragmatic, if bleak, shift.
And he decides, that's it, Holt's fired. And it's right around then, when he's at this low point, that something unexpected happens.
Yeah, the factory owner, an important client at the bank. He notices Kay's looking stressed during a meeting.
And he just casually drops it. He knows about Kay's trial. Which is weird in itself. How does he know?
The court seems to have whispers everywhere, but yeah, he knows. And he suggests Kay go see this painter, Tittarelli.
A painter.
Yeah. Describes him as almost a beggar, but apparently he works for the court somehow, knows judges. It's very strange.
Definitely unconventional. The owner gives Kay a letter, Tittarelli's address, but warns him, don't bring this guy to the bank.
That little warning is so telling. Even this potential help is marked as dubious, slightly disreputable.
And how does Kay react to this? Does it give him hope, or?
It actually makes him doubt himself even more. He catches himself almost inviting Tittarelli to the bank right near his rival, the deputy manager, and he has this moment of panic, like, had he already reached a point where he could put so little reliance on his own judgment?
Wow. So the trial isn't just confusing him, it's making him question his own sanity, his own basic decision-making.
Absolutely. It's eroding his confidence from the inside out, pushing him towards these shadier options because the proper channels are useless.
Okay, so Kay follows the tip, takes a cab, finds Tittarelli's studio, and the location itself is not great. Poor, dark area, cramped attic room, muggy atmosphere.
Yeah, it sounds suffocating, and the welcome committee is just bizarre.
Tell me about it. These depraved, laughing girls greet him at the door, and Tittarelli later whispers they belong to the court too.
Ugh, it's just grotesque. What does that even mean, belong to the court? It paints this picture of the court being everywhere, even in the most sordid places, entangled with everything.
Blurring all the lines, official, unofficial, illicit. It's all mixed up.
Exactly. It's meant to unsettle Kay and unsettle us. The court's reach is pervasive, kind of creepy.
And Tittarelli himself, he doesn't say he's a lawyer. He calls himself a confidential agent of the court.
Right. An unrecognized position, he says, but more influential than the official ones. He inherited it from his father. Knows secret rules for painting judges.
Inherited influence, secret rules. This really speaks to how power works here, doesn't it? It's not about the law books.
Not at all. It's all informal, hidden networks. Tittarelli is the insider, the guy who knows the real system behind the facade. That's where the actual power lies.
And then there's his art. Casey's a painting of a judge, looks familiar, but then he spots this figure of justice.
Ah, yes, the running justice.
Running, with wings on her heels,
Yeah.
like the goddess of victory or goddess of the hunt. Kay makes that great point. Justice has to be in repose, otherwise the scales will wobble.
It's a brilliant observation from Kay. Our whole idea of justice is balance, stillness, impartiality, blind justice. But this court's justice, it's active, predatory, it hunts.
And Tittarelli says he paints them like that because he's told to. Presents instructions from on high.
Which means the court itself chooses this image. It's redefining justice to match its own aggressive, arbitrary nature. It's not about fairness, it's about power in motion.
Absolutely chilling. And this leads Tittarelli right to the big question for Kay. Are you innocent?
And Kay, bless him, still has some fight. I am completely innocent, he says.
But Tittarelli's first reaction, oh, well, if you're innocent, it's simple. Kay immediately knows that's not true, not in this court.
He's learned that much. Yeah, innocence doesn't make it simple at all.
So Tittarelli clarifies. He lays out the brutal reality. The court is impervious to arguments. Evidence logic presented in court means nothing.
Forget about it. What matters is personal influence. Things done behind the back of the public court, in places like Tittarelli's sweaty attic studio, that's where the real deals happen.
Yo, your actual guilt or innocence, irrelevant. Your carefully crafted arguments, useless. It's all about connections.
Depressingly, yes. And based on that, Tittarelli offers Kay 3 potential paths forward. But, crucially, none of them are real freedom.
Okay, what's the first one?
Genuine acquittal. Sounds good, right? The best option. But Tittarelli says he has almost no influence there. It depends entirely on innocence. And he's never heard of any genuine acquittal, ever. Just legends, rumors from way back. If it did happen, all the court documents would be totally destroyed.
So real acquittal is basically a myth, a fairy tale the court tells.
Yeah.
And destroying the documents, it's like the court erasing any evidence that might have been wrong.
Precisely. It protects its own image of infallibility. It can't be proven wrong if the record vanishes. So, yeah, genuine acquittal, functionally impossible.
Okay, not much hope there. What's the second option?
Apparent acquittal. This is something Titterelli can help with. He'd use his connections, get judges to sign off on Kay's innocence, show it to the main judge. Kay gets freed. For the moment.
For the moment. That sounds ominous.
It is. Because the case file, it stays active. It just keeps circulating, bouncing between higher and lower courts forever. The charge continues to hover over your head.
So you could be rearrested at any time.
Yeah.
The trial could just start up again.
Again and again, Titterelli says. It's a cycle. Temporary release, then sudden arrest, then maybe another temporary release. It's limbo, perpetual limbo.
That sounds psychologically torturous. You're never really free, never have closure, just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. It's the court controlling you not by conviction, but by keeping you endlessly in process, consuming your life.
God, that's grim. What's the third way then?
Option 3 is protraction of the proceedings. Basically, you use contacts, like Titterelli's, to keep the trial stuck permanently at the lowest stage.
So it never moves forward, but it never ends either.
Right. You maintain goodwill with the judge through uninterrupted personal contact. There might be little show proceedings, quick hearings, maybe an investigation just to keep up appearances.
And the upside is?
You're spared the terror of the sudden arrests that come with apparent acquittal. You're almost as sure of not being condemned as if you were free. But Titterelli stresses, you are never free.
So you trade the shock of rearrest for a constant low-level entanglement. A life spent managing the case, always tied to the court.
Yeah, it's a different kind of prison. Less overt terror, more pervasive grinding control. The court becomes this permanent fixture in your life, demanding constant attention.
And Kay himself figures this out, doesn't he? He has that moment of clarity about these last two options.
And he does. He nails it. He realizes both apparent acquittal and protraction achieve the same thing. They prevent the accused being sentenced, sure, but they also prevent him being really acquitted.
That's the core of it, isn't it? The system isn't about finding truth or delivering a verdict. It's about keeping you tangled up forever.
Perpetual engagement. That's its power. It holds you, consumes you, controls you through endless process, never letting go. It guarantees its own existence by never resolving anything.
So, as Kay is trying to process all this, reeling from these awful choices, he makes another discovery right there in Titterelli's studio.
Yeah, just as he's about to leave, he realizes the studio itself. It's actually part of the court offices.
The painter's attic is court property?
Apparently. And Titterelli reveals that court offices are in almost every attic, everywhere, hidden away in these ordinary buildings.
That must have been a head spinner for Kay. He's been navigating this thing for months, thinking the court was in specific buildings, specific offices. But it's omnipresent, invisible.
It completely shatters his understanding of the system scale. It's not just a labyrinth. The entire city, potentially, is the labyrinth. The court isn't just a place. It's diffused everywhere, woven into the fabric of everyday life, unseen.
Which makes it even more inescapable.
Utterly inescapable. How do you fight something that's everywhere and nowhere?
Right. So Kay's reeling from the oppressive heat, the awful options, this revelation. How does he leave?
He just wants out. He makes this weird, almost involuntary gesture. He buys 3 paintings from Titterelli, 3 identical landscapes, sunset over the heath.
Just grabs them and goes?
Pretty much. Pays the money, takes the canvases, and escapes the studio, the oppressive air, the whole disturbing encounter.
And then the narrative says something really strange. He leaves the bank later that day feeling almost happy at being able to devote himself more completely to his case. For a while.
It's such a bizarre reaction, isn't it? Almost happy.
Yeah. Happy about diving deeper into this nightmare. Is it relief? Like, okay, now I know how bad it is. I can finally just deal with this reality. Or is it surrender?
It's probably a mix, maybe a grim satisfaction in finally understanding the rules of this twisted game, even if the rules are terrible. It's a perverse kind of clarity. He knows the official path is useless. He knows innocence is irrelevant. Now he has these concrete, albeit awful, strategies. Maybe that feels like agency, like choosing to engage with his tormentor directly.
A desperate kind of agency, then. Accepting the entanglement because there's nothing else. So Kay's journey into the court's hidden machinery, through Hold and Titterelli, it reveals this world where justice is just, absent, Innocence is a myth. Freedom is impossible.
Yeah, he's left with this awful choice.
Yeah.
The illusion of peace with a apparent acquittal constantly looking over his shoulder, or the endless grind of protraction. Neither is liberty.
And it really makes you think about those hidden systems, the informal networks, the bureaucracy that dictates outcomes behind the official story.
Absolutely. What happens when the supposed rules are just a front? When influence and process are everything and substance is nothing.
How much of what seems clear-cut in our own lives, our jobs, maybe even bigger systems, is actually driven by things we don't see?
And what does freedom even mean if a system can just absorb your entire life through sheer administrative weight without ever needing to judge you guilty or innocent?
All right, so here's something to mull over. Think about the systems in your life. Your workplace, maybe dealing with government agencies, even, I don't know, complex social situations.
How much of your sense of security or freedom within those systems is real and solid? And how much might just be an apparent acquittal, a temporary calm before the next complication, a situation managed rather than resolved?
Are we all sometimes faced with a similar kind of choice between fighting a difficult, maybe impossible battle for a clear resolution, or settling for a kind of managed illusion, a comfortable limbo?